across all the 5 scales of the Biennale, the question of climate change is very present. When we think about our future as one planet, the protection of the oceans, the protection of resources, the creation of global commons is there.
Architecture is expanding its understanding and its empathy towards other living things. So I think we really are looking at a time where perhaps the focus should not be on building more and making more profits, more shopping malls, more highliners, tall buildings, etc. But rather, it is an architecture of dissolving, where we perhaps step back and give space to other non-human animals and other forms of life.
Find all the undersea cables. So you can see the planet begin to appear through the lines of infrastructure and hundreds of dense with this extreme density.
The outlines of
it pictures the world as one planet, and it starts to ask how we can engage in the world in a different way, how we treat the idea of what is known and unknown.
And it shows the world as being essentially, as you can see, being unfolded or cracked open, and it has two sides. It has an inside and an outside. On the outside, we show the world in the way in which we have inhabited it thus far, all the lines we have traced upon it. So all the air routes, the sea cables, the satellite paths, and so on, that over millennia have circumscribed the globe with our footprint, essentially.
It's the infrastructure. It's sort of how we as humans have materialized, have come to know and have come to materialize ourselves on the world, how we kind of travel and know the world.
So we haven't actually drawn the geography, but the geography appears through the infrastructural networks and lines. So the world emerges through all the traces we have made, rather than the kind of binary condition of showing all the continents or land masses.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we shift our attention to Antarctica, to understand what's happening there and make sure that we promote policies that can ensure its preservation and protection, because whatever happens there has an effect here. And we stand in Venice, we're the first to go under. So it's really crucial, I think, for all the coastal communities around the world and sort of the global ecosystem to actually at least take awareness of what's happening.
What we wanted to show here is sort of an architecture of the future that shows how we can actually tackle some of the grand challenges that we are facing in the built environment, like the enormous consumption of resources, the enormous carbon emissions that are related to the production of concrete, how we can actually rethink the situation by building not with solid materials, but building with fibers.
to be able to grow, harvest and consume the algae. The exhibition is divided in 3 parts. These are the membranes where algae are grown on a suspension that is jellified with agar, and this is where the cultures are held alive. It's like a vertical laboratory, if you want. Then we have the most productive part, which is just behind me, which is the vertical garden with the reactors containing each one of them 10 liters of chlorella. And each reactor actually produces enough vegetable proteins for a small family. So something this big could be already enough to feed 10 families, more or less.
Cells. And then we have worked with this chef to develop a liquid.
It's not without consequences, the use of the internet, and it's not without a material footprint. And if you look at trends in terms of our network usage, it's only going to exponentially rise with 5G. So we're at this point in time highlighting what the reality of it is, to I suppose to at least start a conversation that doesn't exist already in terms of common discourse, and certainly in Ireland.